You're going to hear me talking a lot about pillar posts. Now, pillar posts are your next destination. See, many of you like me probably have shiny object syndrome, where we're going along and we're like, squirrel, and we get distracted. So one of the things that I've learned to do is I identify my next pillar post. Imagine that you want to go to California. Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can get to California, and you could drive, you could walk, you could bike, you could fly. There's all different ways, yet there's going to be stops along that way. So we know that we're going to California, yet maybe we're going to fly there. Well, first and foremost, we need to get to the airport. So that would be a pillar post, is getting to the airport. So when we look at your business and we look at your goals in life, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like to identify where you're going on the macro. However, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on shorter distances. We don't want to overshoot our goal. So identify your next pillar post. For example, I have a goal of paying off my mortgage. I'm just sick and tired of it being around. Now, my birthday is on July 3rd, and I've set a goal or a pillar post of paying off our mortgage by July 3rd, 2021. So now what I'm doing is I've identified that, and I'm going to look at the pillar posts that are going to help me get there. One of them is doing YouTube videos. See, I believe that information now is like a commodity, and what people do is they pay for proximity or implementation. So I'm giving a lot of this stuff away for free. And so it's kind of like watching the Super Bowl. You can watch the Super Bowl on TV for free. Now, it's different. Let's say that you want a different experience. So then you go to the city where somebody's playing in the Super Bowl. That's going to be a different experience watching that game at the bar, again, for free, except you got to pay for the meal or the drinks or whatever the case may be. There's another level of experience. That level is going to the stadium. Now that's going to require another level of investment. Now you could even pay to get on the field, or you could earn to be on the field. See, each one is another level of proximity and another level of investment. So where am I going with all this? What we need to do is we need to establish what our next pillar post is and whatever we're doing, and then put our blinders on. Now, when we establish our pillar post, we have to take inventory of what we have. Just like when you're going to the airport, you have to say, okay, what am I going to need when I get there? And you start to pack your suitcase. Well, is it sunny? Well, if it is, we're going to be at the pool. We're going to take swim trunks. But if we're going to Alaska and it's cold, we're going to pack something different. Relationships are no different. So when we identify that pillar post, we're going to take inventory of our relationships, our current relationships. Now, you know that I'm a fan of just focusing on my A's and B's. In another video, you can go find it. We talk about most human beings can only handle about 120 relationships. So we label that with 36 A's, 96 B's. So whenever I'm going to a new pillar post, I take inventory of my relationships, and I ask myself, can these 36 relationships help me get to my next pillar post? And oftentimes I find this: a third of the relationships can, a third of the relationships are indifferent, and the third of the relationships need to move on. In a future video, I'll talk about the split of relationships there and how the importance is of not having all relationships in the same status. So when we look at this, when you're looking at your next pillar post, we have to be able to make decisions on what relationships we nurture, what relationships we water, what relationships we choose to just go ahead and let die. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Hank, you're talking about relationships, yet a lot of what you're talking about is transactional in a formula standpoint. Yeah, because we're not stupid. See, what we're going to do is we are going to look at these relationships from a mathematical and a tool standpoint. Then what we're going to do is put our blinders on and serve those relationships. It helps us get predictable results for where we're going so that we're not being stupid. So if you like this video, do me a favor, go ahead and like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications. I mean, maybe not. We don't need a million bells going off. What we need to do is focus more. So if you found this helpful, let me know. This is a new thing for us. Any feedback is appreciated. Just don't be a jerk. Thanks.